You have massive goals. You want to write a book, get in shape, or learn a new language. Yet, despite those towering ambitions, your actual evening consists of lying in bed, swiping through endless short videos until your eyes sting. Society has a very specific label for this behavior: laziness. The common wisdom tells you that you lack drive, that you simply don't care enough, and that this is a permanent personal flaw. But look at the biology. Your brain is hardwired to seek comfort and avoid pain. When you consider a massive, difficult project, your nervous system registers a threat. It predicts the exhaustion required to achieve it and forces you toward an easier, safer activity. You don't need a personality overhaul to fix this. To get moving, you just need to stop triggering that biological alarm. That means identifying the exact points of psychological friction keeping you stuck and systematically removing them. Laziness exists as a habit of avoidance. You can override it by dismantling the 3 specific barriers blocking your first step. The very first barrier is scope friction. This happens when the sheer scale of what you want to achieve paralyzes you before you even begin. To bypass this, shrink your target metric. Shift your focus from the massive end product to a single, comically small physical action. If your goal is writing a 200-page novel, your brain panics at the required effort. But if your only target for the day is writing one single sentence, the perceived effort drops so low that the pain avoidance reflex never fires. This logic applies to anything. Don't learn an entire song, aim for one single chord. Don't clean the entire house, organize one corner of your desk. Progress is the goal here, not perfection. By shrinking the scope, an impossible mountain breaks apart into a series of flat, manageable steps. You transform an intimidating peak into a sequence of low-effort movements. The second barrier is called decision friction. This hits when you rely on raw willpower to force yourself into action. Willpower functions as a finite, depleting battery. Every daily choice, what to wear, what to eat, answering emails, drains it. When empty, you default to the path of least resistance. To fix this, build automatic routines. If you place your running shoes right next to your bed the night before, you bypass the morning decision entirely. These routines act as structural training wheels. A habit like writing out tomorrow's to-do list before you leave the office keeps you moving forward even when your motivation is completely gone. People who consistently finish difficult projects don't have superhuman drive. They just design their physical environment so that taking action requires less thought than sitting still. The final and heaviest barrier is initiation friction. This is the intense physical feeling of resistance that peaks in the very first second of a new task. You can hack this using the 2-minute rule. You negotiate with your brain, promising that you will only engage with the dreaded task for exactly 120 seconds. This graph maps the required exertion over the lifespan of a task. Notice how the feeling of effort spikes in that initial 2-minute window. But once you actually start moving, the friction drops. Momentum begins to do the heavy lifting for you. You can accelerate this momentum by following those first 2 minutes with a small reward. Taking a quick break or playing a favorite song creates a biological feedback loop, encouraging your brain to repeat the cycle. Commit exclusively to those first 120 seconds. Once you slip past your brain's initial defenses, the difficulty of continuing drops significantly, allowing momentum to sustain your progress toward the finish line. The people you admire, the ones producing great work, struggle with this exact same inertia. They aren't architectural marvels of discipline. They just actively use these tools to get moving anyway. Think of your highest ambitions as a fragile spark. Dropping a massive, overwhelming project onto it right now is like throwing a giant log onto a tiny ember. You will smother it instantly. Microtasks, easy routines, and 2-minute starts act as dry twigs. You feed the spark slowly until it generates enough heat to sustain a roaring fire. Failure is a data point within the system. Missing a day highlights exactly where your routines need adjustment to better handle future friction. Stop waiting for a perfect surge of motivation that is never going to arrive. Pick one minuscule task today. Give it 2 minutes of effort and break your inertia right now.